Hello, gorgeous Taurus family, and here we are in February 2020. Man, the end of 2019 and the first month of 2020, yeah, 2020, have been really powerful. I know for myself, there's been so much work, and I think Tauruses, you also have been really getting those big hits of energy in connecting in with who you truly are and what you really want to own with your space. And that's really profound, powerful, big energy. In fact, the note that came through for Taurus for February, now that we've moved out of this eclipse season, now that we've moved out of some of that really molten, volcanic kind of subterranean stuff, is that your wisdom this month is really going to be coming from behind the scenes, in the secret, in the hidden, in these really powerful points within yourself. So, there's been a lot of themes of earth energy, right? There's a ton of outer planets and earth signs right now, including Uranus with you guys. And so we've been doing a lot of the foundational work, our foundational beliefs, the way we ground into our lives in the day to day. But your energy infusions are going to be coming from the hidden water energy, which is much more intuitive, and it's a lot less about this logically makes sense, this is how we're going to redo our structure, and much more about listening into the mystery, which can feel a little scary, it can feel a little unstable, but just kind of keep that in mind. Yes, you can keep being logical and keep making plans, but you're going to notice that sometimes you're getting pings of wisdom from behind the scenes in ways that maybe you're like, I don't understand how this makes sense. Why is this message coming through right now? So just kind of keep that in mind with February. Let me start to shuffle here. Part of that process going on here has to do with Mercury going retrograde. Mercury is going to be retrograde in Pisces and a little bit into Aquarius this year. Our pre-retrograde starts on February 1st, and then the actual retrograde begins on the 17th of February and goes until March 10th. And then we'll have post shadow for a couple weeks after that. So just kind of keep that in mind. Mercury retrograde is going to be retroing back through your 11th house in Pisces into your 10th house in Aquarius. And Mercury retrogrades in water signs, I will be doing a Mercury retrograde on my Patreon. I always do this so that you get a better understanding of the logic. So if you haven't joined me over there, it's a great way to get those extra resources during retrogrades, during heavier hitting transits. I'm really excited to do more with you over there. But when we have Mercury retrogrades in water signs, especially Pisces, this is where we are doing revision emotionally. This is where we're doing revision intuitively. And for you, Pisces has a really beautiful flow with the Taurus energy. So there's a lot going on here with you tapping Queen of Wands. I love it. This is sovereignty in its most beautiful form. I think Queen of Wands, the thing with her, and one of the other notes I had for Taurus this month, is that this isn't about you in the collective. I will tell you this right now. I know there's so much going on in the world that's very stressful and scary. There's a lot of kind of destructive, wild energy here, helping us see contrast and getting us into some really big, deep, powerful things with our collective mission. But the thing with you all right now is this is about you as an individual and what you want. 5 of Swords. Interesting. And having that sovereignty. So kind of keeping that in mind, and also that you may be feeling a bit strange, a bit like hollow, like you can't fully emotionally connect with everything. 7 of Wands. Wow. Okay. There's some challenges here. There's some places of pain, some places of discomfort coming up for Taurus. That's really interesting. These are places that aren't working for you. The Emperor. Okay. There's some really strong visionary energy here mixed in with some very, I would just say, 10 of Cups. I like this. I like this evolution that we're having here with some really uncomfortable points that you already probably know what those are. Even when you saw those cards, you're like, oh yeah, I know. I already know what this thing is that's not working for me. Or this piece of the puzzle that's not fitting with my soul song. Seven of Cups. Okay, so here we're getting into this water wisdom with these cups energies at the top. So there's a whole conversation going on here, and I'm really excited to talk these. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, one more card, and then we're going to get into it. Okay, so like I was saying, Mercury retrograde is a big point in February this year. So we're moving through Aquarius season, another fixed sign in Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, you guys have a really interesting dialogue going on here. And I think it's like the classic Abraham Hicks. This is where the idea of contrast, when it's really functioning at a great level of perception from you, is amazing, because you can just see everything clearly for like 100 miles around you, right? But you have Aquarius season. It has a lot to do with your legacy, who you want to be in the world, how you want to like show up to this party, right? And then Pisces, and then the sun moves in Pisces, which is very much about how you connect to others, how you connect to your community, how you connect to your soul. So we have some really great energies there. We also have this full moon in Leo on the 9th, another fixed sign, right? Full moon during Aquarius season. That full moon in Leo is really helping you navigate your home environment and what you want that to look like and how you want to revise that. Really powerful hitting energy there. And then Pisces season brings along a new moon. And we also have Venus in Aries starting on the 7th of February and going through the rest of the month. And Venus in Aries is a really interesting placement for Taurus, because that's your 12th house. That's your unseen, that's your hidden. And Venus going into the unseen and the hidden is a really powerful transit, where that's where you're tapping into the wisdom of what is beautiful. This is your ruling planet, right? It's coming your way. It's going to be with you very shortly here. But your ruling planet is going through this water house. It's going through a place where it's having you look at things through the lens of spirit, not through the lens of the physical. And that sometimes can get confusing when you're trying to put it into a to-do list on the physical. So keep that in mind. But here's the deal, y'all. Let's just like put this on the table right off the bat, because it's staring me in the face. And it's really clear that the beginning of this month, the first week of this month probably, leading up to the full moon, leading up to this really strong energy, you are facing into what makes you feel like not quite yourself. Okay, so the Queen of Wands is your first card out, which is a really positive, wonderful energy. And like I said, this is tying into you as a sovereign being, as a sovereign entity that is moving through the world in ways that work for you. And so this isn't about, this is about what you want that sovereignty to look like. Your individuality, your individual goal, your individual imprint on life. This is a very saucy and very clear energy of I deserve this, right? There's kind of a sense of entitlement almost, but this is really important when you're going through a process of change where maybe you have not felt worthy of something in the past. So if you're getting Queen of Wands, here's something where this is that voice inside of you that says, clearly this isn't what you want, or clearly this is what you want. Pay attention. Right? And that's the thing with this Five of Swords and the Seven of Wands. These are points of contrast. These are points of discomfort. I wouldn't say these are points of like extreme pain, extreme loss, extreme darkness. These are those places in life where maybe we have a friendship that just feels really heavy and uncomfortable, and like every time you walk away from that person, you just kind of feel tired. It's not like they're causing huge drama in your life, but they're kind of you just are feeling kind of heavy from it. This is when you are going into an office environment every day and the sound of the computers or the way your coworkers work together is exhausting, and you're really checking in with that. It's like you can keep doing it and it will be fine and nothing terrible is going to happen, but you can feel the discomfort, and it can cause, your body to get out of whack. It can cause your energy levels to go plummeting. It can cause you to have anxiety, seasonal depression. All sorts of things can come from those places that aren't working, right? And they're pinging up here. They're like poking you a little bit, but they're doing that in a very helpful way here, because the thing they're saying is, you're not meant to be spending your energy looking over your shoulder and battling things and feeling that heaviness, right? These aren't helping anybody. It's not making the world a better place. It's not making you feel more empowered. In fact, sovereignty comes up again with the Emperor. The Emperor loves to come up in Taurus readings, and I find that really interesting. It's your neighboring sign. Once again, Venus is going to be in Aries. Venus is a little uncomfortable in Aries, right? Because Venus is your ruling sign, and she's all about the divine feminine, what's beautiful, what's soft, what's nurturing, it's all about the love and the harmony. And in Aries, which is all about war, which is all about initiation, which is all about like rushing into things and dedication and that intensive sovereignty. Venus in Aries, I think, is very healing though, because it taps us back into, okay, being visionary, being sovereign, being determined, owning your space, being brazen in your asking for what you want and who you are. Both of these characters are quite stubborn in this, right? And you are a fixed sign after all, so we've got to have some of this visionary energy, right? It's the positive side of it, right? The good side of it is that when you fully own it, you help everybody because you shine brighter. And also you help yourself, which is very important, obviously. You help yourself to fully commit to what it is that is meant for you, and not to kind of say, well, I would make this change, I would do this project, I would shift this part of my life, but I don't know if it's really necessary right now, So this is about you really committing to yourself. So you will notice you keep getting poked by the same thing, the same discomforts over and over again, so that you own this sovereignty. Because here's the thing, that watery, intuitive energy that I was saying is coming from behind the scenes for you in February is going to be giving you a very clear blueprint of emotionally what you're supposed to be feeling, of materially what you're supposed to be enjoying, and what life can look like once you commit. So you're going to be getting dreams. You're going to be getting you'll be listening to a song and you'll just get a really clear vision of something coming into your life that's really powerful. And that's going to keep happening to you. During this Mercury retrograde, you're going to be noticing that those dreams are really vivid. Now, it doesn't mean that they're happening literally right now, because what's going to be happening literally around you probably in February is some of those annoyances, some of those discomforts. And you're going to be like, okay, well, I'm getting these infusions of this powerful dreamlike energy that is tapping me into harmonious relationships, harmonious environments that make me feel good, that help my creative voice, that Taurus creativity that is so amazing come out, right? And we need Tauruses right now. We need you all to bring in your beauty and your creativity and your thoughts, and your power right now is very important in the context of our collective evolution. But this is about your sovereignty once again. These energies right here have everything to do with that, and you picking it and choosing it energetically, right? But here's the thing too, you've got, I love this, you all. You have the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles showing up here in the discussion. And these two energies, this is really destiny energy, right? Legacy energy. And it is different from maybe what you thought it was supposed to be even a month ago, right? Wheel of Fortune always clicks us into kind of a new paradigm. It's a timing energy. It's a energetic energy. I really like it actually just in the context of thinking about 2020 and decades and millennia. The Wheel of Fortune is a 10, and it's that kind of clarity that comes when we close out. Our minds really love a series of 10s, because it wraps everything up, it closes it out, it brings it full circle and opens us into the next thing, right? It's a very alpha omega energy, and Wheel of Fortune very much taps us into the next portal of who we're going to be. And this is about you making those agreements with your higher self, making those conversations happen within yourself, because Ten of Pentacles is long game energy, and it does show up for Tauruses quite often. It's you may be planting seeds that you don't even consciously realize are going to turn into something 5 years from now. You have no way of conceptualizing that, and that's great. You don't have to worry about that. But yeah, there's kind of a relentlessness in this energy with you all. I have to say, it's your soul is talking very loud right now. And so it's not going to really like let things rest. It's going to keep waking you up at night with these vivid dreams. It's going to keep having you have these little situations that feel a little uncomfortable and have you check in with them. It's going to keep calling you, and you're going to have to keep picking up the phone. And here's the thing, you got a lot of data collection this month. And so, don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to be like, oh, well, my soul is talking to me. I better get this all figured out. It better all be done. But I think if you're paying attention, taking some time, maybe writing out those lists, doing those, getting on Pinterest when you have those dreamy moments and putting that stuff in, just letting those messages come through, even if they don't totally make sense yet. What you'll find by the end of, especially by the end of the Mercury retrograde, as we go direct, and that'll be in March, what you'll get as you look back over this transit and over the month of February is you're going to get an amazing instruction set. And like I said, it's not all going to make sense right away. But keep it anyway, note it down anyway, because there's something really powerful going on there for you all this month. Okay, so I wrote up a series of words for the month of February, and I am going to pull a word for you all as our final note in your process, something to kind of focus in on this month thematically. Let's see what it is. I love it. It's ease. You all know me. Of course, I'm not going to be writing like stressful words and putting them in a bowl to pick. So they were all going to be amazing choices. But I have to say, ease is kind of one of the best words. Because, okay, like I was telling you, okay, maybe there's some places in life where things aren't working so well, or where you're feeling a little drained or overwhelmed or anxious or depressed or frustrated, right? Like, that could be coming up for you. And, you may be feeling like you need to workshop your way into the next phase. You need to be workshopping your way out of some of this stuff. You need to be, pushing harder. Because Tauruses, if there's one thing I know about you, it's that you push yourselves really hard. You have a really high standard to, I think sometimes, crippling levels, that the desire to do very well and push very hard. And what I always say with Taurus is you guys come in ready to work, ready to get in there, and you all have this reputation of being lazy or slow and loving to eat and lay around in bed. I've never come across a Taurus where yeah, you have your moments, but like generally in life, you are like, yeah, I want to do that, but I'm just going to work these 3 jobs. And I'm going to work really, really hard. And okay, so anyway, the point being that Tauruses come in ready to work and life. And one of the things with connecting with your sun sign or connecting with your rising sign or whatever you have in your chart is to embrace the part of you, this Venusian ruled part of you that is about ease, that is about the Empress, right? That is about that divine feminine ease. And I'm just going to keep holding this word up. But the thing is that, our greatest impulses, our greatest steps forward in life don't come from, putting on the yoke and digging into the ground. It comes from those moments of clarity. It's like you want to put the yoke on and turn over the earth when you're in a field that has soil you want to work with. You can put that yoke on and be digging up sand, right? And putting all that labor in for something that you don't even want. And that's where we want to take that Taurus energy and make sure that it is being harnessed in places that are really nourishing for you and in flow for you, right? And so when we talk about ease, what we're talking about is a mental state more than anything. It doesn't even have to literally be like get in bed and lay there for a month because you're not going to do anything. Ease is about the way we think about our day. It's the way we think about where we have to schedule. That idea of JOMO, the joy of missing out. If you feel you have to schedule everything in, you have to see everybody, you have to be everything, really take a look at that this month. Anywhere where you're pushing, because that is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be especially uncomfortable this month. And you're going to want to make sure that you're paying attention to those road signs because they're coming in to help you out and to make it easier for you so that the road ahead, because there's so much here, you guys, it is so much about you tapping into a really abundant, beautiful, prosperous, fantastic year for you. And it is a really important time. So take that all in. I love you so much. I will see you in March. We're going to finish out this Mercury retrograde in March. We're going to start getting prepared for some other new transits. A little heads up, it's a few months from here. Something to keep in mind, Venus, your ruling planet, is going retrograde in May and June. And that's going to be a really big connective point for all of us. So this year's got some really big themes going on. Like I said, if you would like to get more on Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, my personal journey, head over onto my Patreon. I would love to see you there. It helps me out, and I love sharing that time and that space with you, so I'd love to see you there. You can also find me on my website, SARAHTAROT.com, or on Instagram at SarahVerba. I would love to see you in all of those places. My calendar, I'm keep opening it up little bit by little bit as the weeks go on, so kind of keep an eye out if you're looking to work one-on-one with me. I would love to see you. And of course, I'm wearing my favorite Taurus's jewelry, PinkLune. She's always got something beautiful that she is concocting in her gorgeous head of hers. So go check out her Etsy shop. I'll leave her link below as well. And I will see you all in March for more magic ahead. Mwah.